Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Herb Vernacular TV. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. Today, I would like to have a discussion on pertaining to the migrant caravan that is coming to the United States, leaving Central America, heading to Mexico and down to the Texas border. The reason that this discourse and this dialogue was sparked is because I was talking to a co-worker of mine. She's very conservative in her political idea leaning, and she was making a very thorough and clear point that you just can't allow anybody into the country without being vetted. And she's absolutely right. As an immigrant, I think it's very important I be able to add my 2 cents to the discussion. But what I try to get her to see is that immigration is very complex. Some people interpreted the immigration policy of the United States only on one layer, but you must understand the backdrop. You must understand the historical analysis of many of these policies. Our foreign policy in the Central America region has had a tremendous effect on how many of those countries have been able to grow or not to grow. Everybody knows the situation from Guatemala with the United Fruit. Everybody knows that. You know, from a historical standpoint, the United States has intervened in Latin America more than 100 times since post-World War II. And those are facts. So what I'm trying to get my co-worker to see is, through our dialogue, what I try to get her to see is that it's much more complex. Yes, you are right. These immigrant needs to be vetted because you don't want to allow anybody into the country. I agree. I'm an immigrant. I came here legally, so I believe in legal immigration. But one thing you must understand is that U.S. foreign policy in that region is very tough. As an imperial power, U.S. has been able to impose its will on some of these smaller nations. If you look at Cuba, Cuba has been on an embargo for forever. You know what I'm saying? When the Obama administration came to power, they relaxed the embargo a little bit and some sanctions. Trump came back there. He put it right back on there. If you look at Venezuela, you know, the elected leader was completely denied by the Western world of his legitimacy. You know, so those type of policy could be having an effect on the growth and the governance of those countries. Not saying that those countries not corrupt. They are highly corrupt. They are mismanaging their people resources. That is absolutely true. But we have to look at other nuances as to why these immigrants storming the border. Their country is in disarray. Some of them are failed state, weak state. So everybody want to head to the United States because it seems like that is the promised land. The IMF policy in that region of conditionality has had a tremendous effect on how those countries grow or not to grow. So when we see these migrants coming to the border, we have to be able to assess all these aspects as to what is going on with the immigration policy. The Biden administration is bringing immigrants from Afghanistan, sneaking in overnight. You know, whatever that policy entails, you know, is beneficial to many businesses in this country. That's why they are supporting it, because we are in a capitalist society. Cheap labor is very important. You have folks on the right-hand side of the political spectrum, some of them against the immigration policy. And, you know, which there should be. If you are not vetted, you haven't been, you know, your background search haven't been done on you to allow you into the country. You know what I'm saying? You could be a criminal. You could be anybody. Nobody knows. And that is true in those regards. But in other regards, you know, businesses need these cheap labor. It was even reported in the headlines today that these migrants could potentially, you know, fill many job positions that is being vacant. So you have capitalists, you know, liberal capitalists on the Democratic side of things, on the left-hand side of things. Some of them are very, you know, open to immigration policy because it's not just let immigrants in. No, it is beneficial to certain businesses. So they're going to advocate, you know, they're going to lobby Congress, they're going to lobby, you know, Washington, you know, to lax the immigration policies, you know. However, if you're on the left-hand side or if you're on the right-hand side, you must understand we are in times that the border has to be protected. the people that you allow into the country has to be vetted. That's a rational policy. They has to be vetted. And if they meet the criteria, not on no racial lines, not on racial lines like former President Trump was trying to do, not on racial lines, but if they meet the criteria, you can get in on legal immigrant. You can make them become a legal immigrant within the United States, because this country is about immigration. Immigrant has always come to this nation and add on to this nation. So if these immigrants fit the criteria, not on racial lines, then give them an opportunity. But within the political vortex that we are in, left-right politics is always going to be that way. Immigration is wide open. The immigration policy of this administration is wide open. So as we keep our minds and keep our eyes on what's going on with the caravan, we must understand all aspects that our foreign policy has a huge effect on how many of those countries have developed. The IMF conditionality, the World Bank, if some of these nation leadership are not playing ball like they should play ball, the economy could be decimated. Sanction will drain the hell out of your economy, and that is truth. So this is just my thoughts. Add on in the comment section.